Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 109.
We're already there.
Of Discourse and Magic. Not only are we already here, but this is the second time we recorded this episode.
Oh,
because
wow.
the first time there were dogs. So now there are no dogs. And
there was one dog and a couple of bitches.
There was some dogs and some people. But now we've got some fun things to talk about.
We're all alone.
So let's start at the top. How was your last month of Magic?
Oh my god, it's like deja vu.
I know.
I'm not going to do the Sean Farquhar joke. It was good. It was a good last month of Magic. I did a bad thing.
No, what did you do?
I got a human job, a muggle job.
Ew, what does that mean? Sounds gross.
It doesn't it? Yeah, I work at a vape store, like an e-cigarette store.
Never mind, that's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Love it. I'm a vapor myself. I quit.
I am actual vapor. So
yes, I am made of vapor.
A wisp. I'm just a wisp in the night.
I'm really just cold vapor, if you think about it.
Stardust, really, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm loving it. I haven't had a cigarette in a long time, which feels great.
Yeah.
This is probably the coolest thing most relevant to the podcast is that I used magic in the interview to help me get the job.
Tell us everything.
So basically, I created a little short video. I just edited it very quickly on my phone, put some music on it, and it was just me hitting an e-cigarette, vaping a big-ass cloud, and then making one of their business cards appear, and then vaping a big-ass cloud and making it disappear. But it was a little bit of promo material for them just to have, and they loved it. And then I did some magic with their office supplies, and they loved it.
And they gave you a job.
They gave me a job, and they seem to like me. I've heard that I get positive reviews, which
and you know what?
You know,
one of the
nice
take-home points about that is, a lot of people listening to this aren't necessarily full-time performers, but
cowards.
They can do. No, they're not cowards. But they can do the sort of thing that you did, where you can use the tools that you have at your disposal. So if you're trying to get a job, do a magic trick. They might love it. You might earn some fans because you were able to do a trick in an interview or something like that. So
just the only thing I will say is that if magic isn't your strongest setting, in the fact, like, I have more interpersonal social skills as a magician than I do as a human. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you start to shake every time you do a card trick, don't lead with I'm a magician. Just keep that under wraps until it's something that you have confidence in.
Only if you feel like you can do magic well, that matters. That you can have an effect on people. Then you can use it in your everyday things.
There's a fly in my water.
Oh no!
That's
Drink
really
it up.
Sad. No, I'm gonna get fresh water.
What else? I'm gonna get fresh water from the lake. We'll be back later. What else? Anything else magic happen in your month?
Man, we just recorded this and we were like, no, that we won't be all rambling. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I said 20 minutes ago. We had to wait for Mark to shower and fucking Matilda to leave.
That's okay. Anything else happen magic-wise?
I didn't go to the browser bash.
Right. Which I'll talk a little bit about.
Oh, we did newest trick together.
That was fun.
That was really fun. I did some new magic. I promised Ben that I would work on a routine for 3 weeks and perform something that I'd already performed before. And then didn't do that because I was trying to get a human job, and then panicked the day before, freaking out, being like, oh, Ben's going to be so disappointed in me. He had all these plans for me. I feel like I let everyone down. I shouldn't fucking do this. It's going to suck, blah, blah, blah. And then I got there, and everyone was like, oh, I planned my routine an hour ago, and there was 15 total people.
It was a really poorly put together evening.
And I was so thrilled because I looked at the lineup, and I'm like, oh, Ben Train, solid. Jonah Babin, solid.
Sentimentalist,
Keith Brown,
solid.
Graham Reed, solid. I'm going to fuck this up. Normally, I look at the lineup, and I'm like, at least I'm not that guy. At least I'm not him. I can suck as much as I want, and I won't be him, but going in,
you thought you were him.
I thought I was that guy, and
going out, the guy ended up being me. So
no, you did great.
No, I'm kidding. I only did the trick with Ben, and that was horrible.
You also hosted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't do
something.
any magic. Um,
You don't have to.
I do have to do
You can-
magic.
No, you can. If I brought you to a comedy open mic, you could MC it because you've done it
But I
before.
wouldn't
Whereas
be
I
very
couldn't.
funny.
Yeah, you
I
get
could
the intros
MC
right.
it in the sense I would know their names, but not in the sense that I would be funny. So, but it was a fun newest trick and a lot of fun magic.
Yeah, it was a really good time. What about you? What's new with you?
So much. Okay, no, not that much. I did a dentist convention with Chris Westfall, which was a very cool place to do magic. Trying to do magic for dentists and excite them and bring them over to a financial planning booth, which felt a lot like pulling teeth. Hey-o!
Oh!
But
Did you do the dime through
teeth?
No, where you have the rubber stretched on the cup and you push the dime through?
What does that have to do with dentistry?
So when you get a filling, they put that rubber sheet and they clip it in your mouth.
Fun, is that what that is?
That's what that is.
Oh, that's dope.
It's just a dental dam.
I should have done that.
Yeah, I was talking when I told my dentist that I'm a magician. He was like, "Oh, that's so funny. There's a trick that magicians do with this," and I was like, "Yeah, I know the trick."
It's a good trick.
And then I told Jeff from Browsers that story, and he was like, "Please don't tell people that you can use dental dams." So sorry, Jeff. I realized I just outed that secret.
Okay.
But
Well,
whatever. I love
so
you.
yeah, I did that convention. That was super fun. The dentistry convention. I had a few fun little shows, some Dave and Buster stuff. I went to the Browser Bash, which was awesome as usual. A lot of cool magicians. My only qualm, which has nothing to do with the bash, but only to do with me, is my life is magic. Between the which sounds like the name of my new HBO show, but between the podcast,
Kanye West's book,
yeah, between the podcast and the Toronto Magic Company and performing, like there's no day in my life where I go without magic. So it was just interesting at the bash where I was just like, another day. And some people are like, this is life. I love the amount of magic going on here. But what does baffle me year over year is there being 400 fucking magicians there that all live nearby. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. It's interesting how the podcast really shifted that, where it's like, okay, there's a lecture happening. Yeah, I guess I'll go. Whereas before it was like, oh my God, Chris Mayhew is going to be in Toronto. I have to go. This is the blah, blah. And now I'm kind of like, I love magic, but at the end of the day, I know it's just a person that I'm going to go see.
Yeah, and maybe that might come with age as well.
Maybe.
It might come with us just not being
I don't freak out at
young,
every
giddy kids
release
about,
from Theory 11 or Illusionist or
so,
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what that's from, but I agree with you. Although I have been going to as many lectures as humanly possible because I'm a big fan of those. But so at the Browser Bash, spent some time with Garrett Thomas, which was cool, with Jay Sankey, which was cool. Garrett did a show for the Toronto Magic Company, which was, watching that guy do a magic show is just obscene. He's so good. It's out of this world. And I've been learning some cool magic too. So it's been a good month of magic. I'm doing a lot of reading. I've started putting a new trick in my close-up, which is really cool. It's imagination coins, really cool trick.
Speaking of coin magic, I believe you have a few thoughts on the matter, if my recollection of the previous recording.
Well, all I'll just say about it is I'm a big, huge fan of imagination coins because it's super different than all coin magic. And personally, I'm not a fan of coin magic unless it's like some of the top 10 people in the world doing it. Then if it's not in your left hand, it's in your right hand, barring things like a grade 3 fly or like a grade copper silver or something like that. I'm not the biggest fan in the world, but something where it can be in their hands and they can feel it and stuff, that's really crazy. And that's why I'm doing Garrett Thomas Imagination Coins and why I'm a big, huge fan of it. So shout out to
point
Garrett.
I want to make about that that we touched on last time we recorded this was the fact that that coin magic tends to be better. Well, I'd say most magic tends to be better, but coin magic tends to be better with gimmicks. And
you can just do crazy things.
You can just do crazier things, right? And to think about, using 6 regular coins and a bunch of sleight of hand that doesn't look very natural to split one coin into 3, change them all, and put them back. Or you could buy one very expensive coin gimmick that shall remain nameless, and with much more ease, do something a lot cleaner looking that really drives home.
Yeah, so big fan of imagination coins. And one of the things which he said in the DVD for it, which I'll just repeat again, is that imagination coins kind of feels like SpongeBalls does, except with coins. Now you don't have to be a ludicrous person with sponge red balls in your pocket, even though it's one of the best miracles in all of close-up magic. So,
yeah. I mean, use bunnies.
Yeah, use bunnies or use napkins or do imagination coins. A really good trick. So yeah, that's been happening. The one other thing I'll talk about that's been happening for me, which is interesting, is I've read a book that I've been trying to read for a long time, and now I have it. And why are you laughing at me? What did I...
I know. I think I know what you're going to say, and I'm laughing at my comment from last episode because I'm a loser.
It is funny. You can say it again.
I will. This is totally canned, by the
first
way.
time, yeah. The book is the Ascanio book on theory, a structural conception of magic. So good. Arguably the best magic theory book I've ever read in my life. Puts a lot of things in words, like puts misdirection in words, puts development of an effect in words, puts the creation of effect and honing stuff and a lot of stuff in words. This kind of stuff that people would just say, oh yeah, it takes many years, or oh, it's super difficult, or practice. You know, he has good explanations for what those are. And one of my favorites is, we talk a lot on this podcast about the ideal of thinking premise first instead of method first. And in the book, and I'm paraphrasing, but in the book, he put it in such a beautiful way, the reason why it's often method first, which was that we are, as much as we like to think that it's premise first, we are often trying to find the best thing to do with a method such to make it the clearest and the most impactful. And I think that might be true, you know? It might be more often that I'm using the best method I know to accomplish whatever I can come up with versus the other way around, which is whatever I can come up with, finding a way to do it. So,
that's a little bit different than I think the way you phrased it.
Well, I'm making up everything I say, so who knows?
I think the better way to think about it, based on at least what I took from the last way, is looking at the methods you have and figuring out the best thing to do with those specific methods.
Finding out, exactly. Finding out what has the best impact.
Not what they can do, but like what is the best version of
which
XYZ.
Just puts the building of magic from method first into a
positive light.
Exactly. In a quaint and positive light that doesn't make me feel like I'm such a loser.
Just grabbing at straws. And
that's exactly right. So that felt really, really, really good. Big fanio of Ascanio.
It's kind of, what the joke I made last time was that I'm surprised he has a good book on theory. I've never heard of anything that he's done other than his stupid spread, and I passionately dislike the Ascanio spread.
A good spread.
What did I want to say? I forgot. Oh, yeah. The way I'm sort of thinking about this method first thing is kind of like you want to write a song and you're like, arpeggios have been done before, can't use them. Versus being like, what's the best way I could use an arpeggio?
Right. That's exactly right.
Right.
So I found that very beautiful, and I'm still reading the book, but it's definitely one of my favorite books on theory that I've ever read. So there might be an update coming to that theory resource guide soon.
Revision
is all I'm saying. Okay, so a few more things that we need to chat about. The first is, because we didn't talk about this on the last Me and You episode, sorry about that Teller prank.
So sorry, everyone.
Well, I mean, I still think it's funny. But
sorry, not sorry.
I got quite a bit of hate mail from people like RJ Steele and from some other people that were very angry, like
Tyler Belowski Thompson. I feel like that's me just randomly going for your last name. We chat.
I don't think it's right. I know who it is. I don't think it's right
on Facebook Messenger. So like, I'm
shouting
else you out, other Tyler.
It's a different ski.
It's a Belowski.
Is it Belowski?
I'm pretty sure it's a Belowski.
Tyler Belowski Thompson.
Belowski.
He was not happy about it. Who else wasn't happy about it? Matt DeZero was super unhappy. He showed his wife. He was like, "Oh my gosh, the guys on Discourse of Magic interviewed Teller. You'll finally hear his voice." And he brought his wife and he pressed play and he scrolled through us doing the intro just to cut to it. So it was just 40 minutes of silence. And he was like, "Did I break it? Did I forget to turn it on? Like, did I download it correctly?"
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And we fooled Glenn and we fooled Graham Reed and we fooled everyone. So
yeah, Tyler actually said that his husband laughed hysterically at him because he got so giddy with excitement, and then he was like, the Discourse and Magic people, I think it's so cool that they listen as a couple, but he's like, the Discourse and Magic people got Teller, and then he got all giddy with excitement. They like sat together ready to go, and then we're just like, fuck the, like, I literally, all I got from him,
best prank I've ever pulled in my life. I'm sorry, I know you're not supposed to like the things that you do yourself that much, but man, I felt so good that day.
Yeah, me too. Literally, the
so
moment
angry.
I was so confused because I just got a bunch of fuck yous in my DMs, and I'm like, what did I do? Oh, it's April 1st.
People were absolutely livid with me, and I was loving it.
I took the fly out of my water with my fingers, and I'm drinking it now to not interrupt the flow of this podcast.
Hashtag
I'm
vegan
that
friendly.
thirsty.
So sorry about that, but also no, stop drinking. Sorry about that Teller thing, but also sorry, not sorry. It's April Fool's. I get one day a year, so see you next April Fool's. The other thing that I wanted to mention and apologize about is 2 months ago when we did the You and I episode, we were like, "Yay, look at us! It's episode 100," and then we were like,
John McCarthy, Richard Nixon,
let's
Susan
name
television, North
we were
Korea,
like,
South Korea, Marilyn Monroe.
Right. So we're like,
fire.
we decided to name all of our 100 guests, and when I was naming them in quick speed, I forgot a full line. So here's the line. Should I do the line I forgot, or should I do everyone?
Everyone from the top.
Okay, from
as
the top
fast as you can
until episode 99.
I've got my stopwatch ready to go.
How long did it take the first time? You remember?
I believe it took like
too long,
like 47 seconds or something like that.
We'll beat it, and this time I will remember.
It was like 10 seconds more than your guess.
Right.
So
okay. Here comes everyone.
Oh, hang on. I thought you were just going.
No.
You yawned. I thought it was a. All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Stephen Brundage, Eric Leclerc, Chris Mayhew, Patrick Coon, Ben Trent, Chris Westfall, Lee, Asher, and Fisher, Adam Grace, Oscar Munoz, Rosemary Reed, Mark Frey, David Buck, Elliot Terrell, Scott Hamill, Bobby Mata, Sean Farquhar, Chris Wheel, Daniel Fernandez, Matthew Beach, Luke Toronto, West Barker, Julian Maida, Justin Flom, Daniel Garcia. Here's a skip line. Justin Wellman, James Allen, Chris Funk, Keith Brown, Ossie Wynn, Carolyn Rabin, Chris Ramsey, Chad Juros, James Harrison, Nick Wallace, John Gustafaro, David Malika, Sentimentalist, Gazzo, John Archer, Brian Miller, Morgan Pierce, Suzanne, Mark Kirsten, Spidey, Matt DeZero, Mark Calabrese, Jeff Hinscliffe, Ryan Edwards, Michael Feldman, Jason Dean, Andy Guzman, Glenn West, Harrison Greenbaum, Zach Mirza, Steve Reynolds, Gaff Guy, Jeremy Griffith, Lawrence Haas, Monty Gilmore, Billy Kidd, Demi Aditya, Alan Hagen, Garrett Thomas, Xavier Spade, Sean O, Durant Clark, Tony Chang, Felix Bowden, John Cecil, David Williams, St. Alex Pandrea, Lloyd Barnes, Brian Tamerson, Michael Close.
40 seconds, I think.
That's good. Also, instead of Mario Lopez, I said Maria Tamson.
All right, next month we'll try again.
Well, the next time we try is at 200, but
yeah,
pretty good. Under a
min.
And there are some that have been released that aren't in that, like Jared Kopf and Paul Vigil, and like Adam Wilber and stuff, because they're not in the first 100.
Yeah, and next time we do that, we'll be at 200, and you'll do it without breathing. We'll figure it out.
Let's talk Johnny Thompson's episode. Came out, a lot of love for that book. What do you have to say? What are your thoughts?
I'm still in awe of the fact that we managed to sit down with him, not in person, but I mean, just to talk to him. And yeah, I am happy with how the public received it. They seem to be pretty proud of us as an interviewing, duo, being able to get such a big name. And I feel privileged
There's a few episodes that I feel like I did a service to, and then there's a few that I feel like I did a disservice to, which I'll actually talk about. The ones I feel like I did a service to is like, I feel like we did a really fantastic job on the David Williamson episode. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people loved the questions we asked. Same as the Johnny Thompson episode. There's a lot of things in that episode that have never been said or done before. There's an episode coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which I feel very, very happy about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Look at me while I mouth this.
Oh fuck yeah!
That's a really good one.
Holy shit, guys!
Settle down.
I forgot we had him in the bag. I did the gender reveal. That
It's okay. It's okay. But and he's got some big stuff happening in the news right now. So anyways, there's something I do feel happy about, although I will take this moment to mention how stupid we feel about the Dennis Bear episode.
Oh, yeah.
Just to say super quick, because a lot of people have reached out to me. I knew what the Conjuring Archive was. I didn't really know that it was Dennis Bear until we brought it up in the episode. And at the end of the episode, I was like, ugh, I really wish we would have spoken a little bit longer on that. And then that week, he won the award from the Magic Castle for the Conjuring Archive. So this is just an extra shout out to Dennis Bear as a thank you for putting together such an awesome resource. And I'm going to add it to the resources section of our website because it's just a ludicrously good resource.
Yeah.
Ludicrous. So if you have an opportunity, go check out the Conjuring Archive .com or the resource, or just Google it, or head to the resources section of Discourse and Magic, just because that's a resource that every magician should have their hands on. It's one of those, it's everything we love. Like, it's a mixture of the internet and magic. It's magic books, it's learning, it's everything. So, just apologies to Dennis Bear and apologies to anybody who listened to that episode, hoping that we would spend more of the time talking about the Conjuring Archives. We didn't.
Yeah, I honestly did not know that they existed. I had seen Dennis Bear perform magic on YouTube, and that's what I knew about him. And yeah, we fucked up a little bit there, but
we fucked up before, and we'll fuck up again.
Exactly.
So,
every branch on the stupid tree.
That's right. We fall down.
Yeah, but again, I'm just happy that we did actually get to speak about it. And
agreed. We spoke to him about it on the episode, and we talked about a bunch of other stuff. And in that time, actually, this is so fun. Speaking of new tricks I'm doing imagination coins a lot. I'm trying a new trick on stage, but in close-up, I'm also doing a Dennis Bear trick that I was at Train's house, and I just pulled a Dennis Bear book off a shelf, and I just opened it up, and I started reading, and I was like, I love this trick. And now I do a Dennis Bear trick all the time as my go-to trick, which I'll show you after.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
Which you'll like it. So yeah, cool episodes, cool ones coming up. It was sort of a little brag for some of the big ones and then a little apology for some of the bad ones. So another really, really, really interesting thing that I wanted to start chatting about is we got a message on Instagram. And we got a message from somebody who asked an interesting question that I would love to sort of go over in details. And last time when I read their question, I read it verbatim, and I think that's a mistake. So I'll tell you it's from a guy named Jeremias.mg3128.
Sounds like a StarCraft
go
player.
Follow him or something. I know it sounds made up. But basically,
OGSMC.
Basically, he said, hey guys, I've been following your podcast for a while and I love it. I wanted to ask if you could talk about what are the contributions of magic to the society. And he gave some later examples about, how doctors, their contribution is logical, and scientists, the contribution is logical. But for magic, there's not necessarily an obvious contribution. And he referenced stuff like in Spain, where magicians sometimes go to hospitals. And he mentioned Chad Jaros's episode where he spoke about doing good with magic. So the question is, what does magic do for society? What does it say for society? How does it contribute? So Tyler, you had some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I also just noticed that someone peeled an orange and left it on your table.
Man, crazy things happen here. Sometimes I just have a loose orange.
Just free roaming.
And then that's my life.
But I think that the question he's posing isn't so much what does magic do, but what does art do? And what's the value of non-practical things? And the value is whatever you place on it and whatever your audience places on it. I mean, you can use magic to inspire people to create. Like the reason why we have, ultrasonic levitation is because we thought it would be cool to make things float. That's really the only reason. You made the observation of like, we have cell phones and stuff like that because of Star Trek. And like, that's the reason why we're working on force fields and holograms and all that fun stuff. Also, I think that it has its place as a non-artistic entertainment. Like, it is something that you can just go there and enjoy it for the sake of it. And you don't really need to worry about its economic value in terms of what is it taking and giving so much, so long as you find personal value in it and you can use it in a way that other people get personal value out of.
100%. I mean, my views on the thing is asking what magic does for society, I think sort of misses the point, because it's an art, and art does for society whatever you choose to make it do. You know, some people have comedians come to charity functions and raise thousands of dollars for charities. Other people, what comedians do is they let them laugh and forget the day. Other people, they don't really do much. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, so arts are whatever you make them to. Paints, you know, a painting could make great impact. It could also do nothing. And I think that it's not fair to compare it to things like science, because science is science, and science has science
its job is to
uncover information so that we can use it. So like, I don't think it's a fair comparison to compare it to science, but yeah, like any art form, magic should give to society whatever you use it for. And something that you mentioned earlier, which I think is worth highlighting, is it feels like that question might be coming from an introspective feeling of like, what is the point of all this? Like, what value is all this? And the answer again is whatever value you want to bring, whatever effect you want to have in the world, you can probably do it with magic. Find some clever way to do it. So that's sort of my answer on that.
Yeah, I also, in the last time we recorded this, made the comparison of lyrical content in music, and how, you know, some songs get written and then people march to them and they, you know, create social change through that way. And some songs have a message in the lyrics that change the minds of millions of people on a large scale. Some songs are just
words that are nothing.
Some of them are lyricless. Like, some people listen to dubstep and get an emotional, valuable response out of it, and they wouldn't get the same thing listening to Flanders Fields. Right. But that doesn't mean that they both don't have value. You know what I mean? Like, neither of those things actually save a life. But, you know,
that's true,
right?
It's a good point.
But the impact that they have is where the value really comes through.
So just in general, and I think it's worth thinking about, you know, I'm a big fan of looking at your art form and saying, how can this do the things that I want to happen in the world? And if those things are like charity, you can find out how that'll do it. If those things are like, you know, to get people to relax and have fun, then it's that. If it's to, you know, reach your long lost pet gopher or whatever, like, I don't know, find a way to get magic to let you do that. And like we were talking about earlier, and I think we spoke quite a bit about in the last episode, like, don't be afraid to use this talent to get you things. You know, you got a job likely because you made a video using magic, which, what would someone else's video just be? Just them with a vape, you know? Or like, you know, you use it for things. You've got a secret weapon with you that you carry around with you that you have knowledge of, and use it for something, even if it's just a little something and it doesn't gain that much. I mean, I just think everyone should use their magic and use it to make whatever impact you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Another example that I just thought of, which is actually kind of freaky if I think about it.
Freaky?
But like, if you think about the idea of zombies and like voodoo and reanimating the dead and like life after death, and that's just a purely theoretical thing. We're not talking years ago, right? Purely theoretical thing being brought back from having your heart stop. Like, CPR didn't exist until what, 1920 something? Like, it's new. That's new.
Crazy.
Like, within the past 100 years. So like, people would just like think about how many lives CPR saves every year, right? We didn't know that you could just push on a heart or electrocute a heart and it would come back. That's science fiction. That's Frankenstein, right? But lo and behold, the fiction led to reality, and that's just another case of it. So inspiration is, I think, the number one. If you have to say what value does magic have, it is inspiring in whatever sense of that word.
I love it. I recently sent in an email with the email for Johnny Thompson's, and I put a PS asking if people had one thing they learned and one thing they hope to learn. And some interesting responses. A lot of people didn't have a lot to say about hoping to learn, but they had a lot to say about what they've learned, which doesn't really tell me anything. I can't pull any information about that. But the one thing that sticks, so a few different people said some stuff, and I love to read some of them back. So one is Matt Hebert, who we've had a lot of communications with in the past, who's a dope guy. And he said he learned so much. The one thing that sticks out is the most is the realization that magic has no boundaries or borders. You can be and do whatever you want with it. It has no box. With that, though, you and your guests have taught me courtesies and guidelines to follow to help the community grow and give a better name to magic. Yo, if that's what I leave this world of magic gifting, I'm pleased.
Yeah, like when people say, "What's the point of your podcast?" I'm just gonna send them that email.
Dude.
I mean, I got emailed that once. It was worth the 2.5 years.
Yeah. And then he said, I can't really think of one thing I hope to learn other than I hope you guys keep going with the podcast. If you ever decide to stop, I hope you continue on into something else, podcast or video related. The magic world needs more guys like you spreading good vibes and pod information. Thank you so much, Matt. And also, that's almost...
I'm about to come. Can you read that one more time?
No.
I'm so close.
That's gross. That was almost exactly what Johnny Thompson said, and I felt so good that Johnny Thompson really loved what we were doing.
Oh my
and had
God.
good things to say about it. Yeah.
I was blown away. I called my partner Brittany immediately after, being like, Johnny Thompson said that we're good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he said he's happy that we exist, and that blew my face off.
Okay, so another one from Philip G. So he said, one thing he's learned is deeper understanding of the art and possibilities with magic, and in brackets, and this is a great brackets, he said, vision questing from the Lawrence Haas episode and the Garrett Thomas inspirational episode.
Not vision questing from our Dream Guides episode.
No, not that one. No. But a few things to talk about there. Like the vision questing in the Lawrence Haas episode was something of it was a Eugene Burger thing that I wanted Lawrence to talk about, which he did and did an excellent job. And that's a fantastic episode. And I mean, I wouldn't really call the Garrett Thomas episode an inspirational episode because I think there's a ton of like knowledge and info in there, but fuck it. If it's inspirational for you, like that's great. Like that's the episode when someone says to me, you have a magic podcast. I say, listen to that. Because that will
That's
change.
What I'm shooting for.
That'll help you. Yeah, that'll help you understand what I mean by magic as an art.
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't consider it an inspirational episode, like you said, meaning that wasn't the goal of the episode.
The goal wasn't to be inspirational, but
goddamn, was I inspired after talking to that guy, and I understand why you would be too if magic is something that you care about.
Yeah.
The fact that you found it inspiring is a good sign that you are studying something you should be studying.
So thank you so much, Philip. And the one other thing he hopes to learn is theory. Okay. Don't know what that means.
Oh, it's a theory?
Right. Okay.
You know that theory
Someone
about
said,
theory?
Frankie Magic 13 said, which by the way sounds again like a totally made up username, but that's fine. I've learned countless. I'd love to hear about approach anxiety as well as best openers.
Ooh.
I'm confused about that. I've learned countless, but then it starts to make sense. So that's okay.
He's learned countless.
Okay.
What don't you understand? That episode we did on countless, he learned all about it.
Okay, so what are your feelings on approach anxiety and best openers?
Okay, best openers, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I'm sorry. I change my opener all the time. Pretty much gig to gig, I change what my opener is. Approach anxiety, that's a tough one. Something I still deal with depending on the environment. I like to show up early to a gig and get very comfortable in the setting before people show up. Mm-hmm. And then I sort of know the space. And then I leave and I feel like people came into my house, which is pretty good. That's helped me a lot. And don't really, I don't know, I'm not saying hide the fact that you're a magician, but be a person first. Helps me a lot when I walk in and I'm like, hi, I know it's weird that I'm talking to you, but there's a reason. My name is Tyler.
100%. I have a few thoughts on approach anxiety. The first is, and it's actually the same as my thought on the best openers, which is find some stuff that you can say without having to think so hard, because you can get people in the vibe of it all. And if you're questioning, like, should I say this? Should I do this instead? Like, or anything like that, it puts your head elsewhere. And you just want to be focused on them and making it make sense and be fun for them. So my thought on approach anxiety is the 5-second rule. So as soon as you see them, you have 5 seconds and you have to approach them. Like, that's it. You can't wait any longer. If you wait any longer, then you start being like, no, I shouldn't. They're with their dog. Like, I can't. Like, it won't.
Yeah,
like,
it's not the right.
You start coming up with reasons not
to do it.
No reasons not to. You just approach them and try it.
The worst fucking thing you can do is think all those reasons and then say, fuck it, I'm going to go anyway. And then you show up and they've been watching you watch them for 10 minutes trying to work up the courage. And they're like, okay, loser, what? Oh, you're here to entertain me? I'm not giving you the time of day.
Right. So you basically have like 3 seconds to do it. So just go do it. It doesn't, like, it gets easier. It doesn't get easier in terms of like every next gig, the first one will always feel weird. But then the 9th one at whatever that gig will be back to normal.
Also, if you make eye contact with somebody, just use that.
Yeah.
Just like, don't break the eye contact and then just become friendly and walk over to them and be like, hi. And if they're like, why are you here? You're like, oh, we were just looking at each other. You know, like whatever the fucking thing is.
There's also a lot of good tips in the Jamie D. Grant book. The Approach is what I believe it's called. There's a lot of good tips in that book. If you're worried about approach anxiety and first tricks, he's got a lot of good advice that could help you there. So there's some fun advice for you. And yeah, it depends on what you want for your trick. When I was at a dentist convention, I was doing some weird tricks. I was doing some rope magic. So I'd be like,
floss.
Exactly. I was like, have you seen the latest and new dental floss technology? And they liked that. I was doing some stuff with coins because I was working at a financial advising booth. I was doing some stuff with blank cards. I spread them. I was like, doesn't look like teeth. They didn't like that, so I stopped doing that. Just test, see what works best for you, see what people actually like. This was an email.
Nothing procedural.
Yeah, nothing long.
That's
boring.
Super important. Is that you need to not necessarily. It doesn't have to be super visual. It can be psychological, but it has to be fast. You have to get their interest in the magic quickly. They should be interested in you as a person, and then immediately into magic, and then magic.
Yeah. Glenn West, our good friend, sent some fun things. So kind. So I'm going to read it out exactly what he said. So he's like, just one thing? Damn, which one? I can't say just one lesson, but I can tell you that I've found inspiration and aspiration. The knowledge, information, insight, mind-blowing theoretical, and mind-melting philosophical discussions are some of the best and most valuable resources available to me now. I can never thank you enough for that. As for what I'm looking to learn, how the fucking hell are you going to top Johnny Thompson? Seriously, what's next? I need to know. Can't wait to see what the next 100 episodes bring. Thanks again, Glenn.
We're actually getting a medium to come on for the next month, and we're going to talk to Di Vernon from Beyond the Grave.
Yeah. So a few things. First of all, super nice and sweet, heartfelt message. That's the kind of message I want to pull as a pull quote from Glenn West. So thank you, and I will. Number one. And number two, and I was thinking about this a lot recently, but it's a weird crossover because so much of what people take from this podcast is inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
And that is baffling to me because, I almost feel pro-con about it. The pro I feel about it is like, fuck yeah, we mobilized people to do something. Glenn West would not have his Project 365, which is almost done, if we didn't have an episode with Glenn West about content creation when he was not a content creator.
My favorite thing is that throughout this project,
I take ownership over his
more and more and more as if it's your fucking thing. Like, you're like, in some small way, we kind of got him to do it by having him on. And then like a month later, you're like, and it's the thing he came up with on our episode. And now that that wouldn't exist without my fucking podcast, that awesome project.
So I'm not saying that. Like,
Glenn, you are a genius.
And obviously I can't do anything you're doing. But definitely, like, we watched you come up with that idea on the podcast.
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
The doing it of every day and that sort of thing might be the inspiration that he's talking about. So big love for that. And that's the pro, is the fact that actually people are being mobilized to do things is like, I'm game.
Yeah.
That's what I want. The con.
That's the inspiration for me to keep doing the podcast. The podcast, unfortunately, has not inspired me to do very much with my magic, but everyone else is like, yo, your podcast is great, and it changed me. And I'm like, well, I got to keep doing it then.
My big worry is that people listen to the podcast for a pick-me-up about magic, but nothing to do with learning.
Oh, yeah.
That's my big worry, is everyone's like, what's the one thing I love? I'm motivated. What do I want to learn? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's one thing, which is fine. Like, we're trying to bring people on, but I also understand that, you know, you listen to some of the episodes, some of them, most of them are like, that gives me something to think about. Not a lot of them are like, my world is changed. I now think of magic differently. There's only so many of those.
Except for that one on Countless. That one was crazy good.
So yeah, those that I wanted to shout out, and shout out to George Madrid, who is doing, who's using an idea that I had for a trick and sort of sharing it with the world. Yeah, on Conjure Community.
I read
So
that thread too.
super pumped.
Is it weird that I legitimately read most of the Discourse and Magic emails, but just don't respond to any of them?
I respond to you. I noticed. I open it. I'm like, message is read.
Yeah.
Like, did I read this yet? And then I didn't. So, but yeah, anyways, thank you guys. And once again, I'd love for you to send me an email for one of three reasons. One, just to say hi. Two, tell me what it is that you like or don't like about this podcast. We just do what you want. So the more you tell us, the more we do it.
I have an idea.
And three.
Oh, there's a third. Fuck.
I was like, three reasons. Three is, I mentioned a little while ago about the potential of me putting together that book, which is looking more and more likely. So if you like the idea of a book about magic theory where you can learn and have information at your fingertips,
motivate Jonah. Fucking
No.
get at him.
I just want to, it's not, I'm not, I actually do want to be serious about this because I love the jokes about motivation, I'm a big fan of, but I'm not looking for you to message me and email me because I want your motivation. I'm looking for you to message me and email me to tell you that you want this book so that I know that you want this book so that I'll make this book. Like, if you don't want this book, I won't make this book.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it comes down to.
Also, if you really don't want to buy a book, let us know.
You can tell me that too.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know that as well.
Another thing we mentioned on the last episode, which I think is super valuable for us at least, is we're still looking for guest content for our website. If you have a blog post, an essay, anything you want to share with the magic world, you can use our platform for that. We don't mind. We're lazy fucks.
So we can do a guest post if you have a blog or something you want to share with the world.
It could be put in a book.
To let you do that. It could end up in a book. Or just tell me what you're interested in and I'll write about it because I have no life. So no, I'm kidding. But I really am interested in this book project and I would love to hear if other people are interested. If they are, I'll do it. I had about 2 or 3 people say, I'd love for you to do it. I'm looking for 10. I'm looking for 10. If I can get 10 people to want this project, I'll make it.
I'll send you an email right now.
No, you don't count.
That's fine.
And yeah, t-shirts still available. There's some in my closet. I have yours.
Yeah.
T-shirt's still available. So if you want a t-shirt, order it now. Go to our website. It's obvious.
Buy 2.
Sure, I have them all. So order it and we'll send it to you. They look dope. So many cool photos that people are sharing of them wearing the shirts. Like, it's just unbelievable that people are wearing shirts. People that I don't know are wearing shirts.
Yeah. There's this random guy I saw just in my search feed on Instagram, and I saw my shirt pop up, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
So cool.
Yeah. So buy the shirts. It's super possible that at the end of May, I'm going to take them off being for sale because I'm tired of this. So now's your chance. Otherwise, I'll just be like, they're all gone. Too late. People keep messaging
we'll have a
me.
Box of shirts.
Yeah, people keep messaging me and they're like, where do I get the shirts?
From the link.
They're everywhere, anywhere. So go to the link in the Instagram or go to the website and scroll, or I'll try to make it even easier. But just buy a shirt. Show us you love us. Tell us you care.
Can I use our audience for my own personal gain really quick?
Depends.
Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I now work at an e-cigarette store. So come visit us. No, I'm kidding. They want me to create some shareable Instagram posts that are magic and e-cigarette related. So if you can think of something e-cigarette related, whether it's a floating bottle of juice or a self-filling vape or whatever it is, as long as it's not just smoke appearing, create it.
Well, have you seen the cube solves?
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's dope.
Yeah, so stuff like that. If you can come up with it and shoot it and send it to me, and either tell me how to do it or let me do it or just want it featured on the store's Instagram feed, do that. That would be super helpful and exciting.
Hashtag vape magic.
Hashtag vape magic.
Well, is there anything else we should tell them, thank them, warn them? Thank you guys so much. See you next episode. And by the way, you're going to love the next 3 episodes. They're already recorded. They're dope. They're amazing. In one of them, there's a magic trick. This is crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The next few episodes are so good. They're so good. Who's the other one? I know 2 now. I don't remember my life, guys. This is bad.
I know who they are.
What's the third one? Mountain Degenerate. Give me a. Oh, that's not very exciting.
We've got the them.
Yeah.
We've got the him.
Yeah.
And then we have one more.
But who's the?
You'd like to know, wouldn't
I would.
you?
I feel like, is he boring?
Wouldn't you like to know? I have to go like this.
You have to find the.
And then like this. And then today. And then before today. This.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
wait, and this.
Done. You guys are done. You guys are done.
Oh. Or did that come out already?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that came out
already.
Yeah, okay,
that
never
came
mind.
out already.
Whatever. There's some cool episodes coming up. You're going to love it as much as I do. Thank you so much. And see you in 110.
Wow.
Bro. 110, bro?
Dude, we're going to have a 2 more weeks, triple digit, all the same fucking digit.
111, dude.
111?
I have more podcast episodes than I have magic books.
I am confident that I have more podcast episodes than I do cell phones.
That's for sure.
And pants.
No, but I have more podcast episodes than I have magic books. Like I've
But do you have
interviewed-
more than cards? Decks, not individual.
Probably pretty close. You're talking about unopened?
No, I mean collection.
Talking like in my lifetime, decks I've used?
No, that you are currently hoarding.
I have more podcast episodes than decks.
Okay.
I have under 100 decks, no question.
Yeah, me too. But, some people have 5,000.
I don't, but I know people have a lot. Anyways, you're going to love the next episodes. See you on 10. Stay Gucci. Peace!